Good morning, everybody, and good morning, kids. It's really great to be with you again. Now, 2 weeks ago, we started doing a series where we're going to learn the story of the whole Bible in just 10 weeks. And alongside learning those stories, we are making a big long banner that we showed you last time, which you can also make at home, because I can send you through the pictures on email, and by the time we get to the end, you'll be able to use those pictures to tell other people the story of the Bible. So that's really exciting. So we're only on week 2, so hang on in there. Let's keep going. Let's recap first of all what we did last week. So this is our banner from last time. So if we remember, we learned that God made everything and it was good. And he made a special place for Adam and for Eve, the man and the woman that he had made. And the special place was good, it was perfect. And Adam and Eve felt safe, I expect, and very happy. And God was their king, and everything was good, and everything was perfect. So let's see what happens next. Now, do you remember that there were lots of trees in the garden? We used our Lego trees last time to look at those, and there were lots of trees in the beautiful garden that had blossom on and fruit on, and God said that they could eat fruit from all of those trees except for one. And this tree was called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God said, if you eat from that tree, you will want to decide what's right and what's wrong for yourself. But that's my job. I made you, I love you, and I know what's best for you. If they ate from that tree, then death and sadness and tears would come. And that would be a real shame. Now, God had a horrible enemy. His name was Satan, and he disguised himself as, what's this? A snake. So Satan disguised himself as a serpent or a snake. One day, Satan talked to Eve, and he said, did God really say you can't eat from that tree? That's a shame, because it's really good fruit. Maybe God doesn't love you, and maybe he doesn't want you to be happy. Oh, go on, Eve. It'll be fine. Go on, just try some. You'll become like God. Well, Eve thought for a moment, and then she reached up and she picked a nice big juicy piece of fruit, and she ate it. And she also gave some to Adam. And at that point, a terrible thing came into the world that would change the lives and the hearts of every single person that would follow. And Adam and Eve knew straight away that they had done something bad. Do you know what they did? They tried to hide from God. But God found them. He said, have you eaten from that tree I told you not to eat from? Eve made me do it, said Adam. The snake made me do it, said Eve. And they all started to blame each other. Does that sound familiar? Oh dear. God was really sad, and I expect Adam and Eve were sad too. They broke the one rule that God had given them, and they also broke their wonderful relationship with him. God had to send them away from the beautiful garden that he had made for them, and he had to put warrior angels in front of the garden like a big keep out sign. And now, instead of living in a perfect, wonderful place, they had to live in a place that had thorns and prickles, and gardening was really hard. It was really hard to grow their own food. And instead of being happy, they were sad. Instead of living forever with God as their friend, they would one day die. Not doing what God said was a terrible mistake. Now, I don't like watching films or reading books that have a sad ending. It always has to have a happy ending. So even though that's the story for this week, I'm not going to leave it there. So, small spoiler alert. It says in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, where you can read this story for yourself, that Adam and Eve, from Adam and Eve, many years later, there would be someone who would one day crush Satan's head. In other words, he would win the battle against Satan. So you'll have to keep listening to the next 8 weeks or 7 weeks to find out what happens. So let's have a look at our banner for this week. Ooh. Here we go. Okay, so you can draw this or put this together at home with the pictures that I've sent your parents on the email. So we've got the snake here. Can you remember what the snake did? The snake talked Adam and Eve into disobeying God. And here we've got a pear, so that represents the fruit. And this is the fruit that God had told them not to touch. But they did touch it and they did eat it because they wanted to be boss. Now we've got our crown here again that we had last week, but this time it's got a big cross through it. I wonder why it's got a big cross through it. It's because Adam and Eve and people wanted to be their own king, which is why the cross has got a cross through it, because they didn't want God to be king. They wanted to be king of their own lives. And we've got some sad face here, because doing wrong had spoilt the perfect place and the perfect friendship with God, which made God sad, and it made Adam and Eve sad too. Okay, so there's our picture for this week. Now, we are just like Adam and Eve, and it says in the Bible that we all sin. And when we sin, we are choosing to have a world without God in charge. So we are choosing to be the boss instead of him. We choose not to do what God says, and we try and decide for ourselves what is right and wrong. But that's God's job, which is why he said not to eat from that one tree. And we should let him tell us what's right and wrong. And where can we find that out? We can find out the right and the wrong thing to do by reading our Bibles. So this week, my challenge to you is, in this busy time that we're all having, being at home and lots more time to read, is to open up either your children's Bible or an adult Bible with a grown-up, and to read some of it, and to see what God tells us to do or not do. Okay, so we've got some activities for this week that I've emailed you about. So it's always got to involve food. So we had creation cookies last week, and this week you can have a go at making, it looks like a pig, doesn't it? You can have a go at making sad pizza faces. So why sad pizza faces? Because it made, what Adam and Eve did, made everybody sad. But hopefully, definitely, by the end of these 10 weeks, those pizza faces can be made into happy pizza faces. Okay, you can also have a go at making some paper plate snakes. So here's one that Matthew made. So you can colour those in and put some string on and get the snake to do a little dance. So that's quite a fun, easy activity to do if you've got a paper plate, or we've got some paper chain snakes, getting my words all in a twizzle, paper chain snakes that you can have a go at making. And again, that's quite easy to do with some scrap paper if you've got that at home. Okay, so that's all for this week. We're going to go on to our song now, which is Hey Jesus Loves Me, because we all love this one. We can get up off our sofas and we can punch the air and we can celebrate everything that Jesus has done for us and the fact that he loves us. And we remembered all that, didn't we, again over Easter weekend. Now, there's one line in this song which says, there's a truth. The truth is the Bible that lights my way. So we can sing that. We can remember the challenge to read some more of our Bibles this week. So have a good week and see you next week. Bye.